Geometry EOC, Test Release 2025. Question 7, Walkthrough. Congruence using coordinate geometry.
Question 7 focuses on coordinate geometry and triangle congruence. Only 21% of students answered this question correctly, which tells us many students struggled to recognize how one triangle can be compared to another triangle. Students are given the coordinates of two triangles and asked to determine the relationship between them. But on the Geometry EOC, when coordinates are given, the safest strategy is to compare side lengths using distance and coordinate reasoning. Let's slow down and analyze the triangles step by step.
Question 7 has two parts. The vertices of two triangles are given. The coordinates of the vertices of the first triangle are Q, 2, 0, R, 6, 0, and S, 2, 4. The coordinates of the vertices of the second triangle are T, 8, 0, U, 4, minus 4, and V, 4, 0. Part A. Which statement describes a relationship between the first and second triangles? A. Triangle QRS is congruent to triangle TUVB. Triangle QRS is congruent to triangle VTUC. Triangle QRS is similar to triangle TUVD. Triangle QRS is similar to triangle UVT.
Before we start calculating anything, let's remind ourselves what congruent triangles really mean. Two triangles are congruent if they are exactly the same size and shape. That means if I could take one triangle and slide it, rotate it, or flip it, it would land perfectly on top of the other triangle. In geometry, we call those movements rigid transformations because they move the shape without stretching it or shrinking it. Now, when triangles are given with coordinates, one of the easiest ways to check if they are congruent is to compare their side lengths. If all three sides of one triangle match the three sides of another triangle, then the triangles must be congruent. So in this problem, our job is simple. We're going to find the side lengths of the first triangle, then the side lengths of the second triangle, and see if they match. Step 1. Look at the first triangle. The first triangle is triangle QRS. The coordinates are Q 2, 0, R 6, 0, S 2, 4. Let's start by looking at the distance between Q and R. Both of these points lie on the x-axis, so we just look at the horizontal distance. From 2 to 6 is 4 units, so QR equals 4. Next, let's look at Q and S. These points line up vertically. From 0 up to 4 is also 4 units, so QS equals 4. Now we need the distance from R to S. This side is diagonal, so we use the distance formula. The change in x is 6 minus 2, which is 4. The change in y is 0 minus 4, which is negative 4. So the distance becomes square root of 4 squared plus negative 4 squared equals 16 plus 16. That gives us square root of 16 plus 16, which equals square root of 32. So triangle QRS has three side lengths, 4, 4, and square root 32. Step 2. Look at the second triangle. Now let's look at the second triangle. Triangle TUV has coordinates T8, 0, U4, minus 4, V4, 0. Let's start with V and T. These points lie on the x-axis again. From 4 to 8 is 4 units, so VT equals 4. Now look at V and U. These points line up vertically. From 0 down to -4 is also 4 units, so VU equals 4. Finally, we find the distance from U to T. Again, we use the distance formula. The change in x is 8 minus 4, which is 4. The change in y is 0 minus -4, which is also 4. So the distance becomes square root of 4 squared plus 4 squared, which equals square root of 16 plus 16, which equals square root of 32. Step 3. Compare the triangles. Now let's compare the two triangles. Triangle QRS has sides 4, 4, square root of 32. Triangle VTU also has sides 4, 4, square root of 32. That means all three side lengths match. So these triangles are congruent by SSS, which stands for side, side, side. But we still need to make sure the vertex order matches correctly. Looking at the triangles, we see the matching points are Q corresponds to V, R corresponds to T, S corresponds to U. So the correct congruence statement is triangle QRS is congruent to triangle VTU. The correct answer is B. Triangle QRS is congruent to VTU. Strategy reminder. When the Geometry EOC gives you coordinates of triangles, remember this strategy. First, look for horizontal or vertical distances, because those are the quickest to calculate. Second, use the distance formula for diagonal sides. Third, compare the three side lengths of both triangles. If all three match, the triangles are congruent by SSS. And finally, always check that the order of the vertices lines up correctly, because that's a common place where students lose points on the test.
Part B. Select expressions to create a transformation that proves the statement in Part A.
All right, think about this like moving shapes on a coordinate grid. If two triangles are congruent, that means I should be able to slide it, flip it, or rotate it so that it lands perfectly on the other triangle. Now, here's the key idea. We don't just say they're congruent, we actually show the movement using coordinate rules. So we're looking for a rule like x and y transform to new x and new y, which means the x and y coordinates are transformed to new x and y coordinates after the transformation. That takes every point from triangle QRS and moves it onto triangle VTU. Let's start with point Q, 2, 0. We want it to land on V, 4, 0. Ask yourself, what do I need to do to 2 to get 4? We add 2. So this tells us the transformation includes x transforms to x plus 2. Now check the y value. 0 stays 0. No change in the y coordinates. The only change we see is in the x values. So for now, it looks like this is a translation to the right by 2 units. Step 2. Apply that to another point. Let's test it on point S, 2, 4. After moving right 2 units, 2, 4, to 4, 4, but we actually want this point to land on U, 4 minus 4. So we're close, but not quite there. Step 3. Fix the y value. Now compare 4, 4 to 4 minus 4. What changed? The y value flicked signs. That means we need a reflection across the x-axis. And that rule is the y value transformed to negative y. Step 4. Combine both transformations. Now put both steps together. The first transformation moves right 2 units, which is x plus 2. The second transformation reflects across the x-axis, which transforms y to minus y. So the final transformation is the point xy moves 2 units to the right, which is x plus 2. And then it reflects across the x-axis, which changes y to negative y. Strategy reminder. All right, here's a simple way to think about these transformation questions on the EOC. Start with just one point and follow where it goes. First, focus on the x direction. Did it move left or right? Then look at the y direction. Did it move up, down, or maybe flip? Now, here's a big clue. If the sign changes, like from positive to negative, that usually means a reflection. And remember, you're not guessing here, you're just tracking the movement, almost like a GPS, going from one point to where it ends up.